Oh my, look at that. I like it.
I like these chairs.
Yeah.
Thanks, I bought them personally for you.
Thank you, Danica.
All right, I don't want to make you guys wait any longer, so we're going to go ahead and kick it right to the audience, and we'll see how many of y'all we can get through. How's that sound?
Rock on.
Cool? All right. So please remember, one per person. We'll see how fast we can do this, all right? All right, please go ahead and feel free to adjust the microphone as you need to, and go ahead and give us your name as you begin. Hi, tell us your name.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi.
Hello.
You might recognize me. I don't know. So I was in your photo op. Just putting that out there.
Cool.
So I do have a question for you, but it's a little preemptive. Do you guys record together when you record your lines for My Hero? Or separately?
We record entirely separately.
Okay.
In fact,
Perfect.
many cast members I don't even get to meet until we come to a convention like this.
Indeed.
3 years later, there are still instances of like, hey, aren't you? We work together like 10 times. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Okay. So were there any times where you had to record a fight scene or maybe a really impactful scene where you were just really awkward because you were in there alone and you were kind of being watched?
Every time.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have no other, it depends on if you're later in the production schedule and you get scheduled to record and everyone else has already recorded, then you get to play off other, if have a scene with Cliff, then I can hear him. But if you're one of the first ones to record, you're just recording with nothing. No one, nothing. You listen to the Japanese once and then you got nothing. So it can be a little bit awkward. There's just all this silence and then you say your line, But it's always exciting to see what gets filled in after that.
You don't do anything to prepare? Do you act out?
I'm pretty physical in the booth, so I do weird stuff. Like if my character's doing something physical, I'll you can't fully do it, but I'll sort of pretend that I'm doing that just so that it's in my voice,
You can't shoot ice?
I burned down a couple booths, just Yeah, my left side just got all fiery, and it was crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hi, tell us your name.
Hi, my name's Harmony.
Hello, Harmony.
So what have been some of your favorite lines to record?
Well, one of my favorite lines is this. Hey, Midoriya, what are you, All Might's secret love child?
All right, well, before I answer this question, I'm going to ask a question. How many of you have seen the new movie? All right, well, my favorite line's in the new movie. And if you haven't seen it, go see it.
I was going to say, are you about to do spoilers?
Yeah,
No spoilers.
That's what I'm saying, no spoilers.
Yeah, he can't.
But those of you who have seen the movie, you know what the line is. And those of you who haven't, don't, so...
Well done. Well done.
Oh my gosh, I just talked to a girl on the phone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, tell us your name.
Hi, I'm Trinity.
Hello, Trinity.
Hello.
All right, so this question's for all of y'all. So where did you hear of My Hero? Because sometimes they hear that people don't really know what they're auditioning for. So I was wondering if it was the same for each of you, or were y'all aiming for a specific character?
Well, Funimation had licensed My Hero Academia, and we were hearing whispers about it coming up near the tail end of the season before it, and that we were hearing about this show. It's gonna be really big. It's gonna be really big, and and we've all worked on pretty popular titles in the past and stuff like that. So it was like, okay, well, cool. Hopefully we can work on it, and so then we got the calls to go in and do auditions, and the auditions had every character ever, but pretty much no voice references for anybody outside of the first 2 episodes, because around then the first 2 episodes had aired. There was a vocal reference for Tokoyami. I remember that.
Oh,
but,
right. Right.
But he was the only one. There was nothing for Todoroki. We hadn't heard him yet.
Right.
Kaminari, Kirishima, none of those guys had vocal references or anything because they hadn't appeared in the show. And so at least for me, after having watched the first 2 episodes, I was pretty sure that he was going to be Deku. Like, I was like, that is the voice right there. Like, the person who was working at Funimation at the time, I was like, the closest thing to this guy in Japanese is Justin Briner. And so I'm going to read for it, but I'm really going to shoot for that guy. And so I read for Bakugo, trying to sound good against what I thought he would sound like. So that was my plan.
3D chess, yeah. 4D chess.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Eli, and my question for you is, in My Hero Academia, besides the characters you voiced, who are your favorites?
I like Toga the most. Yeah, thank you.
You know, my favorites really, I'm fickle with my favorites. They change. Deku is one of my favorites, though. He kind of, I know, yeah. I also like Stain a lot. I know. So, yeah, that's what I'd say for now. Gran Torino, too.
I have a top 5. So my first favorite's obviously Bakugo. It's got to be. It's who I spend the most time with. But number 2 is Katsuki. Number 3 is Kachan. Number 4 is King Explosion Murder. And number 5 is Lord Explosion Murder. So. And really, anybody who has favorite characters past 5, what are you doing? Like, you just got too much time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, yeah.
Hey, tell us your name.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Abby. If you had to pick a different character to voice, who would you pick? And this is for all of you.
If we had to pick a favorite character to voice that wasn't ours, who would we
Yeah.
pick? Oh, man. Well, my answer's kind of a non-answer to that. I really would only pick the character that I'm voicing because, you know, I've gone back and I've watched the show and I fell in love with the show. I think it's an amazing. I think the work that everybody's doing from an acting perspective is just like superb. So I can't imagine doing any other role in the show. Maybe a Nomu. Yeah, I'll play. Yeah, I'll just do a Nomu. I'll just do a Nomu. Yeah, I'll just be a Nomu.
Yeah. I'm in the same spot because so many of the performances in the show are so good that, like, if I played one of those other characters, then I would be missing out on hearing my friend's performance as that other character. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm in the right spot. Bakugo's where I should have been.
Yeah, I think, Colleen Klinkenbeard, who plays Momo, she's also the director, and she has done the majority of the casting as well. And she's done an amazing job of casting this series. Like,
she also voices some of the Nomu.
She's a lot of Nomu, yeah. But she, and not only just the original cast, but, she's continued to cast the new characters, new villains, and she's knocking it out of the park. People are just so perfect for what they're doing, so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We should all just be Nomus.
Yeah.
Nomus. We all want to be Nomu.
Yeah. We're all Nomus, man.
Yeah.
Someone's cosplaying a Nomu. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Is that guy in
Are
here?
you here?
Where are you, Nomu?
Is the
you
Nomu
here?
cosplayer in
Nomu.
here? Are you in here?
We're gonna get you.
All right.
His name's Kyle? Kyle Nomu.
Kyle Nomu, you in here?
Nomu Kyle?
All right. All right.
Somebody get Kyle. No, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, tell us your name.
My name is Bree.
Hey, Bree.
This question is for all of you. What is the most awkward line you had to say in My Hero Academia?
Midoriya, what are you, all my secret love child? No, seriously, when I saw that line on the script, Todoroki doesn't really have a sense of humor. At least we haven't seen it yet. Yeah. He's not he's not like the witty, quick, funny guy. I saw that line and I was like, is someone playing a trick on me? Am I really gonna say that? And then I had to figure out, like, okay, no, it's real. And it's a great line, it's awesome, I love it. But I had to figure out, how does Todoroki say this? So anyway, that's my favorite line.
Let me see your beautiful face, my dear.
Yes! Yes! Yes. Oh, again, another one.
Yeah,
that
one
was
weird.
tough, man.
That one was weird.
'Cause that's-
apparently for Bakugo, that's not in the manga.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Oh, I have to say this, though. One of my other awkward and favorite lines is, my name is not Five Weenie Man.
yeah.
Said completely straight, you know?
Yeah, it was from a recent episode that was really funny. But basically, the line is that cheese?
Season 4, really bringing home
Dude,
the crazy lines.
season 4 is
season
bringing
yet.
the comedy, man.
You and I have so many just shut up.
I know.
gotta
Hey,
catch
we've
up.
got to catch up.
Stop saying that.
We really got to catch up.
I heard you.
Yes. I love that moment.
So, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
great.
Thanks. Hi, what's your name?
My name is Haley.
Hello, Haley.
What is the hardest line to memorize?
Oh,
Oh.
that's the beauty of what we do.
Yeah.
I haven't had to memorize a line in years.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the script is right there in front of us, so we don't have to memorize a thing. Although sometimes, depending on if it's a big fight scene or something and there's lines in between, and it's an easy enough line, I'll memorize it so I don't have to look back at the script. But yeah, we don't have to do that normally.
Yeah. We just dry read. Everything's dry reading.
Yep. Cold reads.
Yep.
So can you explain cold reading for those of them that do not know what that means?
Yeah, I mean, a cold read or a dry read basically is you've never seen the script, and you look at it during the preview, and then you have the next take, you're doing it, and you're saying it for the first time you record it.
Acting.
Yeah. It's basically like picking up a script or a book and reading it out loud and trying not to fumble on words and trying to have a point of view. It's definitely a skill, and anime like hammers it home because that's all we do.
Oh, yeah.
Great, thanks. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Sal. I have a question. So it's my dream to be a voice actor, and I actually started working on a few projects like outside on the internet. And I was wondering if you had any like tips, because like I want to be as great as you guys someday, and like you're all amazing people, and I just look up to you all.
Oh, thank you.
You too can be a voice actor. Study acting, study radio. I always say study radio because that'll teach you mic technique. Study everything. Watch everything and like pay attention to the performances and like what's a performance that really touched you? Like really listen to it. Try and mimic it. Like and then listen to yourself and be like, why doesn't it sound as good when I do it? Like what am I not doing? And like it's a lot of analysis and study and practice and then analysis and just work.
Thank you. You guys are all amazing.
Yeah, I think we've all sort of, if you talk to different voice actors, we'll all have gotten into this industry in a different way for the most part. Like what Cliff's saying about learning mic technique and just technique in general is huge. For me, I went the route of just really studying acting, and when I first got my first anime role, I really kind of had to learn some of that technique stuff on the fly, but I felt confident enough in my acting that you kind of do exactly. Cliff nailed it. I can't really add much to it except that studying acting, having a good foundation there, understanding what the job is, so that when an opportunity presents itself, then you're ready to take the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, what's your name?
I'm Trace.
Feel free to tilt that mic all the way down to it. There you go.
How did you guys get invited to voice act or go to audition to voice act? Like the beginning of your career.
Why are you looking at me?
You haven't said anything in a few answers.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So, for at least my experience with Funimation, it was I was studying theater. I was in college at the time, and I sent a voice demo which is like a minute 30 of voices that you're confident in. And I sent that to Funimation, some contact info, etc. Waited a year and some change. And then they called me in for what was just called a general audition, which was like, can you actually read and act at the same time? And thankfully, by then, I had figured out how. Well, I was still figuring it out, but I was pretty confident. So I got called in, I did my stuff, and then I got called in for another project, and then I started working steadily around with different directors. And so when big auditions such as My Hero came along, I had met with enough folks to be on their various lists.
Yeah, mine is, I was studying theater, I was out of college, and I was acting professionally, mostly doing theater, and I had an agent in Houston at the time, and I got an audition for what they said is, hey, you got an audition for a cartoon, and I was like, really, in Houston? What is it? And they were like, we have no idea, just go. And which is kind of, how it went. And this was way back in the day, way before you were born, but back when we still had like music stands and paper scripts, and yeah, that was I auditioned and booked the job, and I got my first opportunity to do it, and I've been doing it ever since. So it happens differently for everybody, I think. Yep.
I met Chris Sabat, and I had a demo.
Good person to meet.
And I was struggling. Like, I had done an open call audition at Funimation. Ironically now, my audition was directed by Colleen, and I love Colleen, but she does not like working with new people. And so getting an audition with her was like cool, but she never called me in. And so then I met Chris Sabat and I gave him my demo, and it was kind of funny because he kind of like, admittedly, he was in the middle of something, so he kind of had to like poo-poo me away, like, okay, kid, we'll listen to it. We'll listen to it. And I was like, cool, maybe in a week I'll hear something back. That'd be amazing. And then 3 hours later, I had an email that was like, hey, sorry, I treated you like a jerk. You sound really good. We're gonna call you in for something. And so then he called me in for a game. I booked the game, amazingly, and so then I worked with him. I felt like an idiot because he was like, "Hey, you got like a really good voice, man." I was like, "Thanks, you do too." And he goes, "Yeah, that's what they tell me." I was like, "Cool, guess you know." And then he passed on my information to Joel McDonald, who voices Aoyama, but he doesn't direct at Funimation anymore. And he called me in for an audition, and then I booked that audition. And then they just kept calling me. So that was my story. It's different for everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you.
We're past that, David.
Sorry.
Oh, you're welcome.
Wait a minute. There's a microphone in front of me. Please.
I'm Emerson.
Hi.
Hi, Emerson.
I'm sorry, I'm kind of freaking out because some of my favorite voice actors are like right in front of my face, and it's like, whoa.
Where?
What?
Where?
Is Chris Sabat in this room?
Yeah, right?
Sabat.
I am here.
Sabat.
So,
I am here.
I have a question for Deku first, and then I have a question for all of you.
Okay.
I'll try to do this as quick as I can, but
Yeah.
so I know you guys did voice acting alone, but when you went to watch the anime and you saw Bakugo yelling all these things at you, what did you feel like?
I said, that's Cliff.
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is what Cliff does to me just when I pass him in the hallway.
Yeah. This feels right. It feels like home. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
He screams at me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, what was it like for all of you when you went to audition? Were you like more awkward or more excited?
We audition, well, it depends. Like sometimes you're gonna audition, sometimes because we've all, have a body of work now, people will ask us to do roles. I think for me, I've auditioned so much in my life that auditions just become like a thing that you do, and I'm definitely invested in all of them, and then you learn to kind of release them and just move on with your day and do what the next thing is, because if you hold on to it, then it'll make you crazy. But with My Hero, I had done a bit of research on it. I had watched what I could. I knew that there was a potential buzz around it, and for whatever reason, that like raises the stakes a little bit. It becomes not just the normal audition. So I was definitely a little more nervous than I usually am. You just want to bring your A game. You want to do the best you can, and ultimately, you really want to book the job. So I was a little more nervous for my hero than other things, I think.
Anybody else?
I just went in and did the audition, and then I went home. Like, I truly, like, I wanted to be in it, but if you're too focused on it, if you're hyper focused on it, you will tear yourself apart. Right. And so I always give myself a week to be like, come on, get the call. And then after a week, I go, okay, well, I didn't hear anything, and now I'm going to put it out of my mind and just move on to the next thing. So that's always my method with it. And I can't remember how long after the audition I heard back, but I remember I was actually in Caitlin Glass's booth. Caitlin Glass directs at Funimation, and I was working on something, and I got a message from Colleen, and she's like, I was like, oh, I got a part in My Hero. And Caitlin was like, who'd you get? And I was like, Katsuki. And she goes, she's like, Katsuki? And I was like, yeah, that one. Who was that?
Right,
Because like I said, we had like 1 million auditions, and we read for everybody. And like, she was like, that's like the rival. I was like, oh, cool. Because like I had already by that point like let go of it, because that's, if you focus on it too much, you tear yourself up. So.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. That's perfect.
Rock on. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, friends, we're going to do our best to get through everybody, so we got to make it kind of snappy, all right? Let's see what we can do.
Fast
All right.
Yeah, fast answers.
Oh, God. Oh, dear.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear.
It's all falling
I'm
apart.
not actually the tallest person in the room. Hi.
Hi.
Anna. I was not on the mic. I apologize.
No.
So
Uh-oh.
my question is, if you as the actor, not as the character, could make friends with anybody in the show, who would it be and why?
As the actor.
As the actor. Me, myself, Clifford Chapin. Midnight. No reason. What's wrong?
I was thinking I can't beat that answer, so I think we should move on.
You can.
Thank you.
David looks like he's still thinking about it.
I am. I have a lot of answers that come up, but then I can't really explain why.
Why is yours Mineta?
Mineta, definitely.
Yes.
I just want to figure out what Mineta's really about, Like we don't already know.
I agree. Cool. All right, go ahead, friend. What's your name?
My name's Emily, and if you could change the quirk of the character, what would you change it to?
Oh man, I like my quirks.
It's pretty much the same. You just don't break all your bones when you use it. Otherwise, the rest is gravy.
Yeah, Bakugo's quirk is awesome. I'm just gonna stick with what he got.
Yeah, I just want Todoroki to learn how to use them both together in a different way, which I've heard some people talk a bit about who've read ahead. But yeah, I'm really invested in my quirk. I just want to know how it's gonna grow.
Yeah. So,
thank you.
Good answer. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Connor.
Hey, Connor.
Yes.
Sorry.
Man, why are you screaming at us?
I'm
just
a voice major. I apologize.
No, it's great.
Anyways, I was trained to be able not to
Yes.
You have to use a microphone. I know you guys don't just work on anime, so when in other anime or in other stuff you do, like commercials, audiobook, etc., do you perchance do a voice for a character that you're not called for in accidentally?
A character that we're not cut out for?
Called in for.
Oh, called in for.
You mean like in non-anime stuff, like in commercial stuff?
Commercial, video game, whatever. Like, say if you were doing a commercial for State Farm, you accidentally did your Todoroki voice. Not Todoroki. Yeah, just I don't remember character.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
do we ever do voices when we're not supposed to do voices? Is like have we ever done the wrong voice for something, kind of thing? I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Get it right every time. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
He's
You know.
crushing it.
my commercial work is so very different than anything I've ever done in anime.
Yeah.
It would be impossible to accidentally slip into like Todoroki or, Briario or something, just
Yeah.
because it's so different.
yeah, they're so distinct.
Yeah. Yeah. So no.
Yeah, usually that stuff's pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hi, tell us your name.
Hi, I'm Begless. And first, I just want to say you're all really great, and well, thank you, microphone.
I wonder
and
why
I'm
that's
very
doing
much.
that.
Why?
Sing out, Louise. Yep.
And
Just project. Step away from the microphone and just say it to us.
Yeah,
It'll be fine.
just say it away from the microphone.
Okay, I very much admired what you've done with all your voice acting and everything, but my main.
It's okay. We can hear you.
We can hear you. Sure. Mm-hmm.
She asked, what are the fan theories that they might be into as well?
Well, it's always a little tricky because, we're working on the show, and so I never really talk about too much as far as fan theories go because I don't want to step on the toes of the original creators. They have what they're doing with the show is amazing already. They've created an unbelievable world and complex, really deep characters, and I don't want to, I'm just lucky I get to be a part of it and get to sort of co-voice this character. So I don't really get into them. I love to hear what people think about them, but I try not to get invested in one thing or the other, basically. I have heard some interesting things about how I saw something about this person's idea of how the series, the whole thing could end. I won't talk about what it is, but I'm sure if you want to Google that, you can find it. But it was a really, really smart, interesting theory. I think there's some really cool stuff out there. And it's awesome that this show inspires people to go out and be creative that way. So, yeah.
I will echo that. Yes. I agree.
One that really tickles me is I get a lot like, what if Midoriya's quirk was actually just that he cries all the time? He's got super tears. And I'm like, that is really funny. Also, he was bullied for a decade for being quirkless, so I wish someone had told the boy.
Right.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you.
I, who definitely believes Dobby is a Todoroki, so.
It would be fun.
Hi. Go ahead and pull it down
Hi
towards you and tell us your name.
My name is Ozzy.
Hi. Ozzy.
And I'm a really big fan of My Hero. Because I have a lot of merch. And my question is for all of you. It is, if you could be one character from My Hero for a day, besides the character that you voice act, who would it be and why?
They got to add that on every question.
They do.
for
They
you.
really do. Because they know I'm going to just say it. Midnight for no reason.
Yeah, probably after thinking long and hard about it, I'm gonna go with Bubble Girl. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know why.
Maybe Aizawa. He seems like he has a really good time sleeping. Like
Yeah.
very easy to fall asleep. That seems great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
you.
of course.
Thanks. All right, we're going to do our best to get through as many more as we
Wanna
can.
do
Let's go
speed
rapid
round?
fire,
When do
friends.
We can lightning round.
Lightning rounds?
Yeah.
Hi.
One word answers.
Lightning
One
round.
word answers.
Yeah, I'm real bad with that.
Yeah, well, you're
Sub-
gonna get good.
Hi.
Hey.
My name's Solomon. Subs or dubs? That's my question.
Dubs.
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 Never seen an anime dubbed.
You've never seen an anime dub?
Or subbed.
Oh.
Oh.
Good. Okay.
Cool. Rock
Really
on.
weird panel for you to be at.
I love you guys. I've never seen anything you've done.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thanks. Hi, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Deku, obviously.
Yeah, rock on.
My question is,
my
what
gosh.
is your? I know. What's your favorite relationship in the series? Platonic, rivalry, romantic, whatever.
Favorite relationship of any kind?
I love that All Might has become sort of a paternal figure to Deku, and in a lot of ways, many of the students. Yeah.
My favorite relationship is Todoroki and Endeavor.
I think you just broke a lot of hearts.
Yeah, people are actually mad. Like you're gonna throw tomatoes at me.
Hi,
All
I'm
Might
Lord
and Dave.
Explosion Murder.
Yeah. All Might and Dave.
All
yes.
Might and Dave. They're such good friends.
They are Dave.
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 All right, let's do it. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Hi, I'm Lord Explosion Murder, obviously.
Rock on.
And which teacher would you have tutor you for 2 months?
Midnight for no reason.
What are we being tutored in?
Sure.
Science? Math? Calculus?
I want All Might to be my teacher. You know why? Because you know the scene between the big fight between Deku and Bakugo, you know, and then All Might comes in at the end and like has these amazing like fatherly things to say. Like in my mind, Todoroki's like hiding behind a wall, listening to all of it, like getting some fatherly advice for the first time. I know. I swear to God, when I watched that, I was like, oh, why am I not there? I don't even need to be on screen. Nobody needs to know. Anyway.
Cool, thanks. All right, we've got time for a couple more. Let's see what we can do.
Lightning round.
Hey, I'm Charlie. Who's your least favorite character?
Mineta.
There is some guy in some scene in the background that I didn't like their style. I didn't like the look of them.
Yeah.
I said, I don't like you at all. I don't like you one bit.
Mineta's my favorite villain.
Mine's just one of those really the Nomu.
I hate those numbers.
Those lousy Nomu.
Yeah. Those
Thank
lousy,
you.
good for nothing Nomus.
Go for it.
Hi, go ahead.
My name is Addison.
Hi, Addison.
Hey, Addison.
My question is, how do you feel about the LGBTQ plus community?
Like-
Absolutely, yes. Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yes. Like in real life?
supporters,
Yes.
yeah.
Rock on.
Yeah.
A resounding rock
Inclusion. Inclusion.
Mm-hmm. Live your lives. Be honest with yourselves.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Corbin.
Hi, Corbin.
And I would like to know, what was your favorite scene to record?
It's in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in the new movie. Go see the new movie.
It really.
I can't
Yeah,
talk about
God,
it.
them movies. The movies. You guys
movie's
gotta
so
see the
good.
movie. It's really, really good.
It's
I
so
mean,
good.
Seriously. I know it's weird for us to be sitting up here saying this, but it's real. It's real. It's good.
It's so good. New movie.
I think one of mine is the scene with Deku and Todoroki in the sports festival arc. Yeah.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we've got time for a couple more. Hurry up. Pull that mic all the way down, friend. There you go.
do you get the ideas to make the videos?
How do you get the ideas to make the videos? That's the beauty of it. We don't make the videos.
Yep.
Yeah, the author is very brilliant.
Yeah, the
and
author's
comes up with
brilliant.
a lot of really great ideas and arcs and characters that whenever I see them, I'm like, oh my god, that's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Who comes up with this?
Wish I could have thought of something
exactly.
like that.
Right? Go ahead.
Hey, thanks. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Sage.
Hey, Sage.
This question is for David.
All right.
How does it feel to be the hand crusher?
Oh man. It's like the only catchphrase Todoroki has, you know? Yeah, he felt really bad. He really felt really bad. Like Todoroki's got an innocence there. He really thought, that he was doing this. So yeah, hand crusher all the way.
Hi, my name's Deacon.
Hi, Deacon.
Hey.
If your character was a villain, what would their villain name be?
Probably King Explosion Murder.
Midnight for no reason. I had to bring.
I'll be none for all.
None. You'll get nothing from me. Nothing.
Hi, I'm Allie. And I'm Nicole. We were wondering, did you guys, the first time you met, did you not like each other? And if so, what did you do to start liking each other?
You should be a writer because you've already started with conflict. You're like, this is great.
Could barely stand to be around.
Well,
or breathe
Justin,
the air.
Justin tried to fight me
Yeah.
when and I didn't even know who he was.
I just wanted to be friends with everybody.
I was what Cliff tripped me in the hall. No, I'm kidding. None of this happened.
I think we've gotten along pretty much
Yeah.
Forever. From the beginning.
Hi,
Sorry.
America.
Hi.
I must say I love you all, especially Justin.
Ouch.
No, I'm on
you all, but.
I'm on board. Just don't say that to your 3 kids if you have 3
Yeah,
kids.
right. Definitely don't say that.
I love you all, but really mostly you. Yeah.
You're like, who's Justin?
But my question is, if you do any vocal warm-ups, any favorites?
Scales, tongue twisters.
Yeah, same. Definitely scales. It depends. Like if I'm having to do something higher in my register, I'll live in that area for a little bit, and the opposite with something lower.
Yeah.
I also do facial massage stuff, get these muscles working. So yeah.
Yeah.
Same, yeah. I'm very, very musically driven, so that's a big part of what comprises my warm-up.
I do this thing that I'm pretty sure looks really stupid, but I do in my car, so, who
Yep.
knows. But I do this
Yeah. Because your lips can really get in the way of talking.
Yeah.
And your tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be amazed.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I think we can do 2 more.
2 more, real fast.
Hi, I'm Caitlin, and I
Hey,
wanted
Caitlin.
to know if, when you first signed up for your characters, were the personalities different at all?
Were the characters' personalities?
Yeah.
You mean have they evolved over time from where they started?
I mean, they've definitely grown. The characters have developed over the course of the show, but.
Okay.
Right. But as far as the
know if maybe Kotsky was a nicer person than he was.
No.
Okay.
No,
No, but he's always been the best.
No.
So.
No.
I like Todoroki personally.
Well,
We
it's
kinda
too bad.
like- yeah,
You'll
we-
come around. Have you seen the new movie? You clearly haven't. Go see the new movie.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, this is our last one. Thanks.
I'm Sonaida, and I want to know what is the most and least difficult emotion for you to portray?
Ooh. Most and least difficult emotion. The easiest one for me to portray is anger. I don't know why. I just have a nice, easy inroad to anger. The least.
I feel like Todoroki's always just so level, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
As Todoroki, it's just like.
You guys can go and I'll come back on the least.
For me, connecting with the emotion is very seldom difficult, I find. Because if I'm with the character in that moment, then I connect with it, you know? And that's
Right.
all that acting really is connecting with the material that you're performing. So there's not really a moment where I'm like, oh man, I gotta be sad. This is gonna be so hard. You know, it's like, no, the character is sad and I feel sad because I'm portraying that character in the moment. As far as like physically, Bakugo being angry can get really hard. But it's not really about connecting with that anger or anything like that. It's just about how long will my voice be able to do this until I lose it. So.
Pretty much exactly that, when you have to deal with extremes of emotions,
Right.
like utter despondence or something, and you give it everything, you give it the 110, and you feel very in the moment there, and then you hear from the booth, we need a little slower, please. Let's roll
Right.
back in for it. And then you're like, okay, let me just make these calculations and then be really sad again.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it's hard to live in that space for too long. Sometimes I leave the booth and I'm like, I gotta go like stare at a wall for 5 minutes.
Yeah, you know, I'll say this. Like, I agree with everything they said. Todoroki can be challenging because there's so much going on inside of him, you know, and he doesn't know how to express himself that well. But when he does, all that stuff has to be living there, even though he speaks in like 2 or 3 notes, and he's, you know, so that's always a challenge to find that.
Was the show me your cute face, dear? How was that? How was that for you?
It was okay to do, but it was awkward. I mean, it felt weird. It felt not like Todoroki. So,
Right.
but I knew that it would feel like that because it was out of reality. So
Right.
I was okay with it. But yeah, it was like, how do I do this and not completely change the character?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that was one of the hardest lines
Yeah.
for me, just because it was like, this is so not a Bakugo thing
Right.
now.
Right.
Like,
It's a fantasy. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Great question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys, do you have any final thoughts to leave us with?
Go see the new movie.
Yeah.
Please.
And Midnight for No Reason.
Yes. Yes. And, you know, hug a Nomu if you see one. They're sad.
As long as they're okay with it. Don't hug a no
Yeah. Ask
without
them first.
permission.
Yes, please. Please ask them.
Just thanks, y'all. Your support
Yeah,
this weekend has
this
been
was so much fun, you guys.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time
Thank you,
and
guys.
being here with us.
Thank you.
Huge round of applause for Justin, Clifford, and David. One more time. Round of
Thank you,
applause.
guys.